Hey guys, welcome back to another Amelia Does Camp video. Today I'm planning to talk about definitions of different type of language that you're gonna be exposed to at summer camp. Usually you're told the definitions of what these terms are during orientation, but because so much stuff happens in orientation, a lot of times you usually forget. And when you're brought into that camp setting, you sort of become very, very confused and you just sort of have to relearn. So this video is mostly to just introduce people gently to what these terms mean. And you can watch it before you go to camp just to get some extra knowledge. So stay tuned. Also, if you want to see more camp content, make sure you hit like and also subscribe to my channel because I'm going to do so much more videos like these, as well as vlogging for when I get to summer camp. So make sure you hit like and subscribe. So one of the first terms which I wanted to mention, which is talked about heavily on camp social media, is OD, and it stands for on duty, and it's basically saying that you're on bunk duty for the night. This happens after EVAC, which I'm going to mention later, and basically you have to make sure that the kids get to bed, you get them ready for bed, and just to make sure that A, no one sneaks out, and B, just everyone's sort of sticking to their night routine. And ODs can go two different ways. One, really calm because the kids are usually very tired out from the EVACs. Or two, if the EVAC involves sweets or candy, you are basically like looking after either 12 or 24 kids who are completely jacked up on sugar. This is my first warning for you guys. Another term which is also very similar to ODs is ADs, which is very similar to what an OD is, but basically you have to walk around outside to make sure that no campers are escaping or if they're meeting up with other people. But it's like, it really depends on what sort of things you're really looking for, depending on which age group or age area you're working with. If it's for young kids, you're making sure that kids don't run off or get hurt with their friends. And if it's older, then you basically are on makeout patrol, which is a bit awkward. And also it's kind of boring, like if you're not with someone. But to be fair, like it gets your steps in. I'm happy doing it. As mentioned before, I'm going to talk about what EVAC is. EVAC stands for evening activity, and it's usually thrown before the younger kids go to bed. But it can really range from different things, from really big games to parties to raves, pool parties, just literally anything. It really depends on what the EVAC team comes up with. It can be under a different name, I think, to different camps, so let me know what your camp calls EVAC. But this is where all the kids get all their sugar, and because they can't bring sugar into their bunks because bugs may come in, this is the main reason why you get that result which I showed you earlier. So now we're going to move on to general camp scheduling stuff. So there's a term which my old camp used, which is known as primes. Your camp could have a different name for it, but it's basically electives which the kids pick at the start of the session to do all throughout their time at camp. At the start of their session, they go through elective days where they show off what you're going to do depending on different departments, just that the kids can try it out for a bit, see if they like it, and if they choose to do it. There's also an opportunity for them to change their primes very early on, see if they, let's just say if they don't like it. Another term which is very similar to primes but is completely different are dailies. This can also have a different name depending on what camp you go to. But it's basically activities which the children get to choose to do every day, so they're not stuck to the same schedule, which allows them a lot more freedom within what they get to try. So now we're going to move on to the most talked about bit from summer camp which I've seen on social media, which is Colour War and Camp Olympics. My camp that I worked at last year, we only did Camp Olympics because our camp was very international when it comes to the counsellors and the kids that come over. All the kids as well as the counsellors were put into different teams, which is basically a bunch of different countries. You didn't have to be from that country to be in that team. There's also Team Switzerland, which controls all of the activities which the kids do in that day. I was put onto Team Switzerland and I had to do like matching card games with a bunch of the kids. It was really, really fun. Personally, I don't know much about Colour War, but from my research, looking up on TikTok, this is sort of like the notes which I got. It's basically like a 1 week long, almost like sporting event. where it gets announced very lavishly, which I've seen from like a lot of camps which have really big social media pages. It's a very, very grand event which lasts a whole week. I don't get how people can do all that in a week. It's like I got tired after a day. But yeah, it's very, very similar into the style for what you do. And most camps probably do it. I don't know if the camp which I'm going to is doing it, but I'll let you know through my camp vlogging. In camp, you're also going to meet a lot of different types of people, and that includes CITs and CAs. CITs are basically campers which are training up to be counsellors, and a lot of times they usually come to camp at a discounted rate, so they're not technically paid, however the parents are kind of are paid. And they sort of basically assist you, depending if you're a specialist, just sort of looking after the younger kids. And honestly, like, to be fair, I actually prefer a lot of the CITs over the counsellors because they just seem really, really sweet. They seem really, really passionate and dedicated. So, like, honestly, treat them well. Another one, which is CAs, these are known as counsellors' assistants. So they're not campers, so they do get paid by the end of it, like us. And they just sort of assist the counsellors, like the name suggests. I honestly miss the CA which I had in arts. So now I'm going to talk about the cultural phenomenon that happens at basically every camp, which is spoke about basically in every camp agency's like social media, and has always happened with other people that go to summer camp. Camp goggles. To be fair, I've never really experienced camp goggles at the last camp I went to, probably because the camp had like quite a small like gay population, so it was really, really hard to find someone that I could actually make a move with. But a lot of the times with camp goggles, because of how delirious you become at the time that you spent at camp and how tired you are, you basically flirt with almost every people there, and you think of them as a 10, but in reality they're basically a 2. It's like, to be fair, there are some really good camp goggle relationships which have started at the camp which I went to. I know like 4 people which are in really committed relationships, but others, they mostly last like a week long, maybe even 2 weeks max. So I would be careful, but also have fun when you're at the camp, when you go there, because it gets messy. If you have any meanings which I didn't mention in the video, make sure you comment down below. Make sure you hit like and also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!